Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on just DC news across both the film side and the TV side as well. It's actually, I think, fairly even, I think, from memory at the very least. So as we slowly, even though it's not that far away, it's like, what, the end of next month? But I guess we're still slowly getting there as we slowly get closer to San Diego Comic-Con, which we still don't have confirmation as to whether DC will have a major presence or even just a present at all at this point in time, even though it's, as I said, end of next month, though it's pretty much 2 months away because we're right at the beginning of June right now. There is some news slowly trickling out when it comes to a few different projects, some of which are in production at the moment and some are heading towards production, commencements or starts in the near future, whether that's later this year or really early next year. So in this video, we're going to go over a bunch of that. So yeah, let's chat about it. But of course, throughout the video, let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything we went over. Always curious to where you guys are thinking. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, drop a like, takes 2 seconds. So the first thing to go over is actually something that came out earlier today from when I'm recording these videos. So it'll be probably yesterday from when you see this. Now, this is about the Green Lantern DC TV show. Now, of course, we had some updates about, wasn't last week, it was probably like about 2 weeks ago at this point now, where we had the confirmation at the very least that like Damon Lindelof of Watchmen and Lost and The Leftovers and stuff like that, as well as Chris Mundy from Ozark, as well as Tom King, they were all confirmed as being attached to the pilot for this, or the first episode for this show. And then there was a couple of other writers attached. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, and I haven't written them down, unfortunately, but there was a couple of other writers that will be attached to the writers' room for that show, and they were revealed. And of course, this was also confirmed by James Gunn at the same time. But this information is coming out from Nexus Point News. I haven't really seen this source, but I saw a lot of bigger accounts retweeting it, so I guess it's something to go off. So we'll go off it at the very least. They're a bit of a, I think there might be a newcomer in this scoop game, if you want to put it, but there seems to be new people popping up all the time. But as I said, there was a bunch of bigger accounts retweeting and sharing this specific information and backing it up. So I guess it's trustworthy enough at the very point, at the very least. But what they're saying is that the series, aka Green Lantern or Lanterns, is currently eyeing to start shooting in Q1, so the first 3 months of 2025. In the United Kingdom, in the UK. Now, of course, we had heard recently, of recent, maybe is a better term to use, like over the past year or so, that the UK was looking to be where DC Studios would set up shop. That would be their HQ, and they would film a lot of their stuff out of there. Doesn't mean every single project is filmed in the UK, but they would set up like a studio space where they would film a lot of their stuff there. Marvel does the same. They have like an Atlanta sort of place, but even then they don't film everything there. It's just a consistent place where they can film a lot of stuff in Atlanta, in Georgia, in America. So they're doing that in UK. It'll be attached to Warner Brothers, and it's probably not a risky thing because if the DCU doesn't work out, Warner Brothers can just use that studio space for other stuff. But if production does go smoothly, this could mean that Lanterns could be set up for a 2026 release. No time frame on the filming of this, but of course it could start in March. And I mean, depending on episodes, of course, it's going to be very CGI or visual effects heavy. So that means like, it's going to have a lot of post-production time, let alone while they're filming it. So 2026 is probably right. It'd be very, very surprising if it did come out by the end of 2025, saying they start filming it at the beginning. Now, it had been previously reported that Lanterns will feature a veteran Hal Jordan or an older Hal Jordan and a younger John Stewart, a bit of a rookie. This was reported quite a while ago. Can't remember exactly when, but it was quite a while ago. And the new reports coming out do back these those like initial casting details, with these new casting details coming up as like apparently like casting is about to ramp up with the DC Studios or Lands as a show looking for white actors, or Caucasian, I guess, actors between the ages of 43 and 49, which is a very specific thing. You'd think you'd maybe go like really late 30s to late 40s, but I guess specifically 43 to 49 is apparently what they're going for Hal Jordan, and then black actors between 27 and 35 of years of age for John Stewart. Now, that, as I said, lines up with those initial reports from whenever it was previously in regards to there being an older Hal Jordan and a younger John Stewart. And it'll be very interesting to see the dynamic that plays into the show, and just how maybe Hal is at this older age. And then maybe if we get any hints as to what he was like when he first became, Green Lantern as well. And you'd have to assume based off this that Hal's been Green Lantern for at least over a decade or around a decade, while John maybe isn't like, day one of having the ring, but is maybe only like a year in and is still learning, or maybe hasn't dealt with any massive things, while Hal has dealt with massive things in the past. So that'll be a very interesting dynamic on the show if that's like where they go with it. And of course, we have heard rumors that Guy Gardner will be in the series in a couple of episodes, at least in some sort of supporting role. Of course, he's going to be debuting in the Superman film played by Nathan Fillion, and Nathan Fillion will reprise his role as Guy Gardner if that's the case in Lanterns. You know, I have to wait and see. I guess we'll get a taste of not only, I guess, Guy Gardner, obviously, in Superman, but also just the Green Lantern feel within this universe in Superman, so that'll be interesting. But I don't think that would be too much of a shock if he shows up, even if it is only for one episode. But I think the rumor that came out a few months ago that he was going to be like there for 2 or 3 episodes or something like that. But speaking of Superman, we do have a couple of minor, well, not minor, I think one's pretty major because people were waiting for it, but probably one like half major and the other one's like minorish, I guess. And the first thing has to do with the Ken Farms. People wondering, you know, Ken Farm we're going to see because they did cast Martha and Jonathan Kent, so you have to assume we're going to see the Kent Farm. And there was a location reveal, and it's right here, as you can see here. That's what the Kent Farm was looking at. I was going to, you know, that's what the location that they chose. People were like, this looks really low budget and everything. I mean, it's a house, and they're also farmers, so they're not going to have like some mansion. I don't know what people do. They think this is Lex Luthor's house or something like that? I'm actually okay with it if that's what it was, but we did get an updated photo of what they're rocking with, as you can see here, and we can see that they've touched it up a bit, based off this photo at the very least, where there's a bit more of an inviting entrance. But then again, maybe that first photo is a flashback, if that's what they were dealing with, and then the second one is current day. But I would assume that the second one that you're looking at is probably just what it's going to look like in general. I'd assume that that's the case, and they just spruce it up. I don't know if the place like outside of filming right now is occupied, or it was just as it is and they can use it. I'm not too sure, but I'm fine with it. People going on about budget and everything. I'm like, it's a goddamn house by farmers. They're not rich, so I don't know what people were blowing up about. I thought it was a bit weird. And also another thing with Superman is that apparently, this hasn't been confirmed either, but we hadn't had this character confirmed, though we know the characters in the movie because of casting reports. So Steve Lombard was revealed that it's going to be in the movie because it was in, you know, casting and like not script details, but like casting announcements and stuff like that, and casting calls for people to audition for. And it looks like Beck Bennett, who used to be on, I don't think he's on there at the moment, he used to be on Saturday Night Live, is going to be the case because he was in this photo here, and you can see James Gunn is there with Nathan Fillion as well as some other people from the cast of Superman. So he's there on the right here with the mustache. Steve Lombard mustache, makes sense that that's going to be the case. And they, like Steve Lombard, they're probably going to go for a comedic guy anyway. Beck Bennett, comedian, makes a lot of sense. So though this isn't confirmed, you'd have to assume it's essentially confirmed. Yeah, this is me from the future just to butt in and say, yeah, this was confirmed by James Gunn. So, yeah. So, no need to speculate anymore. Beck Bennett is playing Steve Lombard. And then we have a few minor things to end off the video. The first one is like nothing really, because it doesn't say where this character's showing up, when the character's like where or when or why or how, or anything like that. But someone on Instagram, I think this is, went, please wink if you have plans for Deathstroke. I'm waiting for my boy to shine for so long. And then we have James Gunn replying with a winky face saying he has plans for Deathstroke. But, you know, James Gunn could have plans for Deathstroke, just like he has plans for some like obscure villain that might not show up for 10 years. You know, we don't know where, you know, Deathstroke's going to show up, though it is very important to remember we have that Teen Titans movie in development. A lot of people think we might get Deathstroke there. Then again, Deathstroke could maybe be in Batman Brave and the Bold. We don't know. Deathstroke could show up in a couple of different places if they really wanted him to. Maybe he could even show up in goddamn Creature Commandos. We don't, in like animated form. We don't know. But like Deathstroke, you're going to have plans for him, aren't you? So this isn't too much of a surprise, but it's just people are really talking about it, though it's sort of minor because we don't know exactly where or when this is really going to happen. But I think it's worth mentioning at the very least. The next thing was, I don't know if there was, I don't even know where these rumors came from, but apparently it was enough to ask the actor. So Anthony Starr, who of course Anthony Starr, might I say, who of course plays Homelander on The Boys, he was asked about Booster Gold casting rumors, which I didn't even know was the case. Maybe someone just made it up one day and it spread enough to the point where comicbook.com asked him this question. But anyway, he replied, me and James just play golf. If it ain't milk, I ain't doing it, honey. Of course, Homelander drinks milk. Anyway, I cannot wait to see what he does with the DC universe. He's one of the biggest brands in the industry, so I'm excited to see what he cooks up. Look, I mean, I guess he looks like Booster Gold. I don't know if he'd fit Booster Gold. I know everyone says like Eobard Thawne and stuff like that, but I mean, he's doing The Boys, like, and that doesn't look like it's going to be ending like in like next year or anything. It looks like it's still going to have like at least 1 or 2 more seasons left, and you're not going to do The Boys without Homelander. So as long as The Boys is going, he's going to be on The Boys, because as soon as they take Homelander off, I don't know if many people will watch it, because like a lot of people watch it for his character. So yeah, I think he'll probably end up being in the DCU, but I don't know if he'll be Booster Gold. And the rumors that have come out about Booster Gold recently is that they're looking for like showrunners and stuff, or like a showrunner as well as, you know, more creative people behind the scenes for it. But they've already cast who Booster Gold's going to be. So it could be him, but I don't know if it will be. I just don't think it will be. But anyway. And the final thing is, we mentioned it briefly before, but Creature Commandos, it'll be getting its first look at the Anarchy, I think that's how you pronounce it, festival on June 14th, which is just over a week now, roughly. A week from now, roughly, from when I'm making and also uploading this video. There was also, I think, what was the other thing? I think Zack Snyder's animated Twilight of the Gods, I think it's called, the Viking sort of like Norse mythology sort of thing. That's also premiering there. So I guess it's like an animation festival. So yeah, I don't know if it means like an actual trailer or just some more still shots. I hope it's a trailer, but then again, you got Comic-Con. But then that might hint that maybe they're not going to do anything at Comic-Con for it. But we'll wait and see. It's not a massive thing, like a big festival, like that many people, you know, convention that many would think of. But and if it's a trailer, then that's half decent. But it could just be like a what do you call it? Like a real sort of thing, if that makes sense, where they just show a quick couple of things, but not a properly laid out trailer, which sort of teases the show and explains like the narrative and everything like that. But it's a wait and see. It's only, as I said, just over a week away, so hopefully it's something at least half decent to gawk at and look, you know, make us get excited for the show. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything right over this video. Always curious to hear what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.